to That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back to Times Square. Kevin McCullough, glad to have you with us. That Kevin Show, hence appropriately named. Yet to come on tonight's big new music spotlight. You may have heard about a guy named Jason Aldean. It's had a little bit of pushback on his most recent song. Well, get ready. He's in the green room warming up. Nicole Sotilli is my guest. And Nicole, I was commenting to you before the show that in the last 2 years specifically, you have seen an enormous activating of mothers, not dissimilar to your very situation, coming together across the country. You've got a group called Moms for Liberty, and you know that this group's having impact because the left's starting to go nuts. They're trying to discredit them at every turn. But there's other groups, and it seems like the left has been more dedicated in the last couple of years to coming after your kids and saying they don't even belong to you. They're actually our kids. What do you think's going to happen with this group of moms that are so activated? What do you make of this movement?
I think that as moms, we have so many balls in the air, so to speak, that we're juggling, and that we didn't really care what anyone was doing, who was marrying who was attracted to who, what other people wanted to put into their, what kind of medication people wanted to use or put into their bodies. The problem is when they came after our kids. And so that has activated a primal instinct in mothers, because that's our job, and that's our number one job is to protect, to protect our kids, protect our young. And it's interesting to me that, and I've been tracking this across a few different demographic issues, but the left they don't know how to deal with children. They want to abort them. They want to transition them from their biological sex to some sort of imagined gender. They want to get them out of the control of the parents' clutches as early as possible, but they don't really want to have very many. I mean, the birth rate amongst those on the left is spiraling. They're going to breed themselves out of existence soon if you just let them do what they're currently doing. And meanwhile, the families on the right are having big families. They're teaching their kids about God. They're teaching them about the nation's history. They're teaching them that there is a moral right and wrong in the universe. And they're actually passing on values that they can then pass on to their kids, the next generation. And I think that this concerns the left because the left knows that if it stays as it is, unless they import a huge batch of voters from some other country, don't know how they would do that with an open border, that they're going to have to find other voters to start supplementing their ranks. Meanwhile, people on the right are just having these big families and having more and more kids. Yeah. And it's not just even, I don't think it's even a national thing necessarily either. I mean, you hear some of the things that the WEF and the WHO are chiming in on, things like homeschool and, that it's equity wise, that it's not fair. And there's just,
I read a thing this week where somebody said, if you get too much sleep, you're racist. That somehow sleep has become racist in who gets it and who doesn't. I mean, you can't make some of this stuff up.
I know. So, there is an agenda, and I think what it is, I've seen The Village and I don't want it raising my children.
Right.
So my goal is to kind of just exit the matrix as much as possible. And I think that's what they don't like, is when we are, homeschooling and we want to grow our own vegetables and
eat red meat.
We want to have medical freedom and eat meat that doesn't have, hormones and
right.
mRNA, and they call us domestic terrorists because we want to do those things. And it's really just getting back to a simpler life, and to parents having a larger role in what their child learns and what their child believes, and taking that away from kind of what it's ended up as, where it's media, school, and other forms of authority that aren't the mom and dad, television, music, that are shaping our kids. And we just want to go back to kind of, it's almost like a renaissance of going back to a simpler time where you know, your family is what is molding you and all of that. So
that's so well said. Well, follow her on Instagram, Nicole Sotilli. She's hilarious. She's pointed. She'll make you think. And Nicole, it's an honor to have you with us tonight. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
You've got it. Kevin McCullough coming back from Times Square. Don't go away.
Ready or not, he'll be right back. That Kevin